All right. Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. And today we're doing things a little bit differently. We're heading into the world of construction. I
Ooh.
know, right? Sounds riveting, doesn't it?
Right.
But hold on, because we're not just talking about, concrete and steel.
Right?
We're going deeper. We're talking about the ethics of construction
Yeah.
estimating.
The foundation of it all, really.
Exactly. And we've got this awesome source material, the Gold Seal Training Series for estimators. This thing is like the Bible for folks who figure out how much these massive projects are going to cost.
Millions of dollars on the line, sometimes billions even.
It's wild. And the thing is, if someone fudges the numbers even a little bit,
Oh, it can have a ripple effect.
huge consequences, right? So we're going to unpack why honesty and accuracy aren't just like nice to haves in this field.
They're absolutely critical.
Yeah, they're like the bedrock, the foundation.
It's not just about the money either. We're talking legal ramifications, reputations on the line, even safety. If corners are cut during estimating, you're literally putting lives at risk down the line.
Absolutely. Okay, so the Gold Seal training lays out 5 core principles for ethical estimating.
Hit me with them.
All right, we've got accuracy and honesty. Seems obvious, but we'll get into that. Fair bidding, making sure everyone has a fair shot. Compliance with standards, so everything's up to code, legal and all that.
Mm.
Confidentiality, keeping sensitive info under wraps. And finally, professionalism, basically, acting like a decent human being.
Yeah, it's about holding yourself to a higher standard.
Right. So let's start with accuracy and honesty. Like I said, it sounds simple, but what are the real-world consequences if an estimator doesn't play by the rules here?
Well, imagine a bridge built on, let's just say, optimistic estimates. Everything looks good on paper. Maybe they shaved off a few costs here and there to win the bid.
Uh-oh.
But then a few years down the line, cracks start to appear, literally. Maybe the materials weren't up to par or they skimped on labor. Suddenly you've got a potential disaster on your hands. Cost overruns, delays. In the worst case scenario, the whole thing could crumble.
Yikes. That's a scary thought. And the source material really hammers home the importance of verifiable data.
Right, no guesstimates allowed. You got to be able to back up every single number with solid evidence. And this ties directly into fair bidding, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Everyone deserves a level playing field, right?
Exactly. It's like applying for a job. You want to know that you're being judged fairly against other candidates. Same goes for construction bids. Fair bidding means everyone gets a shot based on the actual cost of the work. No underhanded tactics or sneaky discounts just to win the project.
Makes total sense. Okay, now this is where I need some help. The training keeps mentioning these CCDC contracts, and honestly, I'm a little lost.
Yeah, the CCDC. It stands for the Canadian Construction Documents Committee. They're the folks who create these standard contracts that everyone in the industry uses. It's like the rule book for how projects should be run.
So they're like the referees, making sure everyone's playing fair.
Spot on. And two of the big ones are CCDC 2 and CCDC 4. CCDC 2 is all about fair payment, making sure contractors get paid on time, no funny business, so they don't have to inflate their bids to cover potential delays.
That's smart.
Yeah. And then CCDC 4, that one focuses on price transparency. So you can't just, sneak in hitting costs later on down the road. These contracts essentially take those ethical principles we talked about and build them right into the legal framework of the project.
So it's not just about good intentions. It's like legally binding fairness.
You got it. And this flows nicely into that next principle, compliance with standards.
Oh, right.
Because we're not just talking about being ethically sound, we're talking about meeting all the legal and building code requirements, making
Fair.
sure the structure is safe, durable, everything's up to snuff.
Protects everyone involved, right? From the folks building it to the people who will be using it in the future.
Exactly. And speaking of protection, let's touch on confidentiality.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
How does that fit into the mix?
Well, confidentiality is all about safeguarding sensitive information. Things like pricing strategies, client details, proprietary stuff. You don't want that information falling into the wrong hands.
It's about trust, right?
Absolutely. It builds trust between all the parties involved, and it ensures a fair bidding process because no one's getting an unfair advantage by having access to confidential info.
Makes sense. And finally, we have professionalism.
Right, the glue that holds it all together.
So it's more than just showing up on time and wearing a hard hat.
Yeah, although that's important too, but it goes deeper than that. Professionalism in estimating means communicating clearly and honestly, treating everyone with respect, and upholding the reputation of the entire industry.
Right, it's about raising the bar for everyone.
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm getting the sense that ethical estimating isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. It's about the people, the buildings, the communities, the trust that holds it all together. But how does this impact someone like me who's not in the construction world?
Well, think about it this way. Every building you walk into, every road you drive on, every bridge you cross, it all started with an estimator's calculations.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Ethical estimating ensures that those structures are safe, built to code, and won't fall apart a few years down the line. It's about having confidence in the world we've built around us.
Was like the invisible backbone of our society in a way.
Yeah, I like that.
Wow, that is pretty profound. So next time I see a construction site, I'm going to be looking at it with a whole new level of respect, thinking about all the decisions, all the ethics that went into making that happen. And hey, for our listeners out there, if this little peek behind the curtain has you intrigued by the world of building and ethics, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We'll be back with more deep dives into these fascinating fields.
See you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.